Hi, my name is Matt Thompson, and I did my final project on Skippy peanut butter. So, the overview or goal of this final project. First off, I wanted to check to see how the LABs of the colors compared, their major colors. Second, I wanted to check the heat wraps versus the normal labels on the packaging. Third, I wanted to compare the finished versus matte surfaces on their lids. Fourth, I wanted to compare the three dominant colors on their label: red, light blue, and dark blue. And finally, I wanted to see how color was affected in the plastics making process for the lids. These are the three products I chose. On the left, the original jar of peanut butter from Skippy. In the middle, we have the Skippy peanut butter bites to go. And on the right, we have the Skippy baking cups. For my first product, I did the peanut butter jar. On the left are the LAB readings for the dark blue, the light blue, and the Skippy red on the label. Then the bottom two are the finished surface and the matte surface of the lid. As you can see, the finished surface versus the matte surface had very different readings when it came to LAB. I believe they're two different blues, but I also believe that the finishing had an impact on the way that they were read. It's very tough to read it because there is an outer rim on the lid that made it difficult for the scanner to read. The first three on the label, the dark blue, light blue, and Skippy red, those readings should be fairly close to what the control will be later on in the project. Though these numbers appear to be pretty reasonable on the left, some of it may be slightly skewed. While removing the label, you know how peanut butter can be. The peanut butter label never comes off cleanly, and when it doesn't come off cleanly, it gets to be pretty transparent. Though I had decent material underneath to try and block out the extra light that was coming through, some of these readings might be slightly skewed. As you can see, the second item I went with were the peanut butter bites to go. The LAB readings for this one were the dark blue, light blue, Skippy red font, and the lid finished surface. As you can see, this lid only had one finished surface, as opposed to the two different types of surfaces that the jar had. Though this one only had one surface, I believe that the ICC profile for both plastics came off the same. Even during the processing of the lids, I believe that they have a set color for the plastics that they will dump in or combine into the resin to keep the color that they would like during the process of extrusion. The dark blue, light blue, and Skippy red all seemed pretty similar too. Though this is a heat shrink label, some of the numbers and colors seem to be very similar to the original jar itself. For my final product, I went with the Skippy baking cups. I believe these numbers to be the most accurate to the appropriate ICC profile that Skippy is using. These are printed out on paperboard, which makes light less likely to come through and a lot of other outside factors to affect the reading. As you can see, the dark blue, light blue, and Skippy red are all very similar to the previous readings that we had with the jar as well as the peanut butter cups to go. In conclusion, after these readings, I found that the paperboard is arguably the control unit for all three of these readings. I found that ICC profiles are probably set for plastics, then used during the extrusion process, and it helps maintain the finishes as well as. That makes no fucking sense. In conclusion, I found that paperboard is more than likely the control for this project. ICC profiles do apply to plastics as well. I found that during the plastics processing part of the jar making or package making, they will put in the resin, the specified resin with an ICC profile, and it is used during the mixing stage as well as the creation stage of the plastics processing. I did find that there was possible bad readings for the labels due to the tearing and wearing of some of these labels. And finally, I found that Skippy has good color management across all media and products.